with the upcoming release of Lightfall, our mods are about to be changed forever. With that knowledge, a lot of our current builds in the game aren't going to perform the way they are right now. So I wanted to start a series leading up to Lightfall where I make a build with every single class and subclass that we currently have in the game. These builds are not going to take advantage of any combat style mods and heavily focus on fragments, exotics, and aspects. Normally, if you use these builds with mods equipped, it is just the cherry on top. And of course, before you start doing anything in Lightfall, you can obviously take a look at the new mod system and try to insert what you think might work. This is just supposed to be a clean slate and give you all an idea of what is some of the strongest stuff in the game right now for each of the classes. If anything changes in the future, I will make an updated video talking about what I think could be better. And like I said, if you're interested in every single class and subclass, be sure to check out the channel and give the series a watch. But hey, if you're in the market for a brand new PC, look no further than my custom line of Apex gaming PCs. These are price optimized to run Destiny 2 and can be completely customized the way you want it. All the links you need are in the description of this video. Remember, you can save up to $250 on your next purchase when you use code REST. Alright, let's round things out with Solar and go over the Hunter. Now, the interesting thing about the Hunter is that honestly, with their Solar, they have a bunch of good builds that you can use. If you come over to collections, we have Young Ahamkara Spine, which is a great build for Solar, Caliban's Hand, which is personally my favorite, what I'm going to show off in today's video. Even running something like Shards of Galanor to get your super back, or even Starter Scales so you can do more damage. All of these are very, very good for the Hunter, and you can kind of just run whatever exotic and what you want to play into, just depending on your playstyle. Now, like I just said, I personally am going to be running Caliban's Hand, and this has the exotic perk Roastum. Your proximity knife scorches targets it damages with its explosions, or ignites targets on final blow. After throwing a proximity knife, you gain increased melee regeneration until the knife explodes. So this exotic has two parts. The main part is that when you throw your proximity knife on an enemy, they're going to ignite. This basically turns your melee into a grenade because you can pretty much always secure a kill no matter what content you're playing on. If you are on harder content and you don't think your knife will kill an enemy, all you have to do is just shoot them down a little bit and then throw the knife, and then they'll explode and kill everything. The other cool aspect of this is that if you throw it on a wall, it will actually recharge faster and stick there. Now in PvE, this is pretty pointless, but in PvP, you could definitely make this work with something like a tripwire grenade. So if our exotic is based all around causing ignitions by constantly getting our melee off, how are we going to amplify that with this build? Well, first off, we're going to be running Knock 'em Down. This is going to give you a plethora of super benefits, and then on top of that, while you're radiant, final blows with their equipped throwing knife fully refund your melee energy. That is going to be the main part of this kit once we get into the fragments. And then for super, you can run either Blade Barrage or Marksman, depending on what you prefer, what you're getting yourself into, and they will all get the benefits of this as well. Now, I do also have On Your Mark just to get 3 extra fragment slots, but this will let precision final blows grant you and nearby allies increased weapon handling and reload speed for a short duration, stacks 3 times. Activating your class ability immediately grants maximum stacks of On Your Mark. So this is going to give you some benefits for reload speed, which is nice, but the main thing is I just want those 3 extra fragment slots. Now for grenade, healing grenade is for sure the way to go since your melee is pretty much going to be your grenade. This is going to be great for your survivability. You get cure and restoration applied to you, and obviously make sure you have proximity knife equipped. Now for fragments, I like to run Ember of Empyrean, so my solar weapon or ability final blows will extend the duration of restoration and radiant effects applied to you. So this means now every time I get a melee kill or a kill with a solar weapon, I will extend the duration of radiant, which is very, very nice. Now I also like to run Ember of Torches, so powered melee attacks against combatants make you and nearby allies radiant. So this is good for having a damage buff since you're going to be throwing your knife a lot, due to the fact that if you remember, while you're radiant, final blows with your equipped throwing knife will fully refund the energy. So this means now every single time you get a kill with your proximity knife, you're creating ignitions and you are fully refunding that energy. Since you are spamming knives, Ember of Empyrean also procs, which will keep restoration up for you on top of everything else. And then to play into that even more, we have Ember of Blistering. So defeating targets with solar ignitions grant grenade energy. So now since we're killing everything with ignitions in the first place, we're now going to get even more healing grenade energy back, so we can always make sure to have one if we are in a sticky situation. I also like to run Ember of Eruption, so my solar ignitions have an increased area of effect. This is a no-brainer to take since the build's all about making ignitions. You want them to be as big as possible. And then Ember of Wonder, so rapidly defeating multiple targets with solar ignitions or grant an orb of power. You're going to be doing this all the time, so making some extra orbs that will play into some other stuff that we'll get into later is going to be very, very nice. So just as a quick little roundup, Knock 'em Down with Ember of Torches essentially is giving you infinite melees. Your melee is basically turning it into mini nukes because of Caliban's Hand. You're going to get a bunch of healing grenade energy back because of Ember of Blistering, and you're going to constantly be able to keep restoration up because of Ember of Empyrean. You can run either Marksman or the Blade Barrage Super, and you're good to go. Now, I would highly recommend 100 Resilience and 100 Discipline. Unfortunately, I only have 90 with my current setup. 100 Resilience is still going to be very strong in Lightfall. You're going to get 30% damage reduction. Right now it's 40. And then obviously with 100 discipline, you'll get your healing grenade back even more, so you can throw it if you're about to die. Now, weapons with this build is honestly probably the most flexible I've made so far with my previous 2 builds. You can kind of run whatever you want to. I like a Riptide with Choke Clip because this is going to be very good for champions. Since you're always going to be Radiant pretty much 24/7, you're going to have intrinsic anti-barrier, and then with Choke Clip, slowing and freezing, you'll have Overload and Unstoppable. Now, I have Tikus on because this is just a very strong primary option. It also just plays into the kind of Ignition-esque, and this does get a change in Lightfall where basically this bow will make ignitions. This could be very strong. Obviously, that's speculation, but you can literally run anything right here. And then right now in the game, the best DPS weapon for the most part is going to be a linear fusion rifle, so I have that equipped as well. But if something changes in Lightfall, you can obviously switch it out. Like I said, it's extremely flexible. The only thing I would recommend is just at least have a solar weapon, so if you don't get a knife kill, you can keep proccing Ember of Empyrean with your solar weapon. Now, for mods that are staying, I like running Harmonic Siphon, so when I get rapid weapon final blows, I'll create an orb of power. Again, this will play into the fact that you want to run a solar weapon to help with Ember of Empyrean. You now also create orbs. Hands-on's great for gaining bonus super energy on melee kills. Since the whole point of this is to melee 24/7 with your throwing knife, this will just give you some extra super energy, which is really, really good. Now, I also run double impact induction, so when I cause damage with a melee attack, I will reduce my grenade cooldown. Again, since you're throwing your melee all the time, you're going to be getting grenade energy from the hit, and then when it ignites, you'll also be getting grenade energy from Ember Blistering. So you can have, like I said, pretty much permanent uptime on your healing grenade. Now, always remember to throw in your resilience mods. We don't know exactly what we're going to be getting in Lightfall with these, but this is going to help out so much for your survivability, so just don't forget about these. And then I like to run a recuperation and a innervation. Recuperation will give me some health when I pick up an orb of power, and then innervation will give me some grenade cooldown to pick up an orb of power. So if you remember, I'm creating orbs with my weapon and with my subclass with this fragment right here. So now when I pick those up, I'll get some health, which is very good for survivability, and some extra grenade energy, which again will help out with survivability because you are running a healing grenade. And then finally, I have a distribution, so when I dodge, I just get some cooldown for all my abilities. But the main thing is it's a 1-2 finisher, so finishers will restore your melee ability. So if you ever get in a situation where your knife does not kill an enemy, which most of the time it should, if you do pepper the enemy down a little bit, even if you're on that harder content, you can just get a finisher. It will require a little bit of your super energy, but when Lightfall comes out, it will require an armor charge, so you don't have to worry about using your super, and you'll just get a melee restored. On top of that, I also do like running Gambler's Lodge just in case as well, so you have 2 different ways to get your knife back, just in case something does go wrong. And then finally, if you can't do either of those, remember the exotic itself does have its perk where it will regenerate faster if it's stuck to a surface, so just try to make sure it doesn't explode so you can get it back super quick. But that's honestly pretty much the build. It's extremely simple, no combat mods involved, none really needed. Those are just the cherry on top. You can ignite everything, you get a bunch of healing, you get a bunch of orbs for your teammate, your super is extremely strong, you can change out your weapons to whatever you want to, other than just, I would definitely equip a solar weapon. And this build, like I said, is just pretty much like every other build on the Hunter. You can run pretty much just anything that's dedicated to the gunslinger, and you're honestly just going to be pretty good to go. But all right, that's going to do it for the build. I know this one wasn't as flashy, as cool as the other 2, but I promise you the Hunters will have their time to shine once the new classes come out. It's just the gunslinger is just kind of just an all-around class. Like, it's not bad, it's not like the best thing, it's just really solid. Like, it does what it's supposed to do. It has a bunch of different fun options you can use, so just decide on what playstyle you like. I think Caliban's hand is personally leaning towards the top because you do have the aspect of keeping your health up 24/7 with the healing grenade, where others kind of do struggle with that just a little bit. But if y'all would like to try this build out, we'll have a dim link to it in the description below. If y'all enjoy and learn anything new, consider subscribing, drop a like, and turn those notifications on. Also, if you want to join my Discord or follow me on any of my socials, all that will be linked in the description as well. But just know watching this video is way more than enough, and that every single bit of support from you all is truly appreciated. Thank you all so much for watching this one, and have a great day. Peace.